As children of God, God is very much interested in our happiness, future, and how we spend our lives. He knows the right person for us, the one that would help us to fulfill the purpose He has for us on earth, and the one who would not derail us. Your marriage here on earth is critical to determine whether you would make it to heaven or earth. If you are with the wrong woman, it would take serious grace and help from God to make heaven, because you have signed up your way to hell by marrying the wrong person. This is what happened to Samson. He went for the wrong woman, a strange woman, even when God has commanded and warned them against such, and the end of his life was miserable. You can therefore not afford to be with the wrong person. You cannot afford to ignore the signs and handwriting on the wall. You cannot ignore the voice of God telling you to break up from that relationship. You have missed it before, but He decided to call you back and correct you. Don't continue or go back to it. You might end up grieving His Spirit. As easy or hard as it may look, you may have decided to break up and let go of the person you once loved, but you find yourself constantly thinking about the person. You have not sinned. It is normal and expected because you have been in love with that person. It becomes wrong if you allow the soul tie to hinder you from making progress, or hinder you from entering into the right relationship or accepting the right person that God has brought your way. You need to let go and move ahead with your life. You need to keep your life in motion and progress. Refusing or unable to accept what God has said or done and deciding to keep the memories of the person deep down and unable to move on is telling God that He has done wrong and harm for you, but it is not truly so. He decided to correct you on time before you eventually get far with the person and lose focus and sight of what He has for you. Accept the new happenings. Go back to God, seek His mercy, and believe Him to guide you properly into finding the right person. You probably missed it out due to your insensitivity and negligence, but by His mercies, you found your way back to Him, and He decided it was proper to correct the choice of your life partner you have made and to ensure you break up and get it right. You should be grateful to God for not allowing you to wander with the wrong person, because the act and institution of marriage is a lifetime affair until death do you part. You would have had a miserable life, but thank Him and His mercy that saved you in time. That is why He is a great Father. Only a loving Father would call you to order when you go astray. He has done that for you. He has seen the end from the beginning, and as the saying goes, no matter what you climb, you would not be able to see your end. Trust His leading and let go completely and ask Him to show you the right person. What do you then do when you are in such a situation and unable to stop thinking about the person God has asked you to break the tie with? It's clear that you have not moved on. You have decided to keep feeding and entertaining it. You need to break up completely. You need to renew your mind daily and continually with God and things of God. What you give attention to would play out in your mind. What you think over and over again as the day progresses would keep playing even when you sleep. You must end the thought about that person. You must stop feeding it into your mind. You need to accept that it has been broken and nothing can bring it back again. You're probably analyzing and seeing possibilities in working it again, and that is why you have been unable to stop thinking about that person. End such analysis. Stop entertaining it. Accept that it has been broken by God and nothing would come between you both in form of union or marriage again. This is one of the best ways to handle it. Agree from within you that it ended for good and greater good lies ahead in you both going separate ways. God is not saying that a person is a bad person or a dangerous person. It's only that you both are not meant to be. Remember, He took a bone from Adam to create Eve, so also He has taken a bone from you and made your own woman. So also He has made from the bone of a man out there. It's only with that person that you can achieve all that He has planned for you. Don't mistake what God did. It wasn't to paint the person black, but to ensure you are aligned and connected to the right person He has created and made for you. Another thing you must do when you're facing this kind of a situation of being locked up in thoughts and thinking about someone that God wants you to break up with is for you to proceed and seek God's face and engage yourself with the right person. You're probably dwelling in the past relationship because you have not discovered the person God has planned for you. It is highly possible that when you have met the right person God has for you, you would see that the person is somewhat better and connects more to you than the person you left. You would find out that you can do the things of God better and effectively with the person that God has prepared for you and you have accepted. He has good plans and thoughts for you, therefore accept it. And if you haven't seen the right person God has for you, but if you have seen the person, get along with the person and walk towards knowing yourselves better. By doing this, you're on the right path with God and would certainly achieve great things by getting to know yourself and seeing how you can work together with each other. The person is the best for you. Accept it and you would not live to regret the person God prepared and showed you as the right person. You can never get it wrong with God. You can never find pain in God. All He does lasts forever and would give you peace and joy forever. If you are still unable to stop thinking about someone who God has told you to break up with, you need to clean everything that reminds you of that person. This would include text messages, pictures, and messages on social media, and for the time in review, stop visiting places you visited with that person. Our mind is weird in such a way to remember every tiny detail and moment we have spent with that person. Messages have a way to make us remember and miss someone, and to avoid this, you have to delete every message that you may have received from the person because it's capable to remind you of what happened when you received the message. Also delete pictures of the person, the ones you took together and the ones they took alone. Pictures also have a way to play back the good old days you spent with the person. If you can't delete them, keep them out of close reach so you don't access them now till a future time when you have gotten over them. Stop going over those pictures, stop going over those messages. It's also needful that you stop visiting the places that you visited together with that person. Stay off those places, and if you must visit, go with the person that God has ordered and shown you as the right person. Don't go there alone. Go with your new love, and that is how you would limit and stop thinking about that person. It would certainly get better with the right person. You have dwelt so long in the past and what God has said not to. When you continue to think and nurse over it, you might reach the state where you would go against what God has said to test what would happen. He might not stretch forth His arms to harm you, but you have decided to shorten the extent and impact you would have made here on earth. Stop feeding those thoughts. It's time to let go completely. It's time to move on with the things of God and with the right person God has shown you. He never makes mistakes. It's us that make mistakes and started with the wrong person. Accept what He has done, and you would certainly find peace, joy, and long life.